Rufus. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Rufus.
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 I told you, he's a little cracked.
Music from the early 2000s wasn't that bad.
Oh, not at all. I mean, you had some standouts for sure. That early Korn stuff was great. Introduced us to that new metal genre.
Korn, Limp Bizkit wasn't bad at the beginning.
There's something to be said about the old Limp Bizkit. That first album, $3 Bill, was Counterfeit. Come on, it was a great song. And it brought us Linkin Park.
Yeah.
So,
They're shit now, but
I just feel like the band is missing something these days. Mostly a screamer.
Yeah, you'll have that on these big jobs. But
what
was really cool, and I really thought was interesting too, is that it was still their original stuff, but they had that album that they made. Well, no, it came out. I think it was between Hybrid Theory and Meteor.
Words. Yep.
Yeah, it was that. It was all their old stuff, but they did a bunch of remixes. It was called it was called Reanimation.
Speaking of Reanimation, Reanimator, a 1985 Stuart Gordon film based on the H.P. Lovecraft short story Dr. West, starring Scott Wolf's dad, Eliza Cortez, Constantinople. Anyway, his cousin, a talking head, Doctor Strange, and the villain from Die Hard.
Welcome back, folks. We're back for a second season.
Well, the mutants in the basement!
Somehow they scraped enough money together to...
I've been selling plasma like there's no tomorrow. And other fluids. They didn't want those, though. I just left them on the doorstep.
And I don't know if it was actually that you guys loved us, but apparently we love us. So we're back for a second season.
Round 2.
Another thing, something new this season, we're incorporating is the Wheel of Trivia.
And you can see that's just expertly crafted.
Yeah, that's some Jarhead craftsmanship right there.
That's it. That's some A1 engineering.
I even rubbed some Motrin on it.
Not gonna complain now. Nobody ate for it.
I had to drink some water and gave it Motrin.
That's it.
It actually put itself together.
Not unlike ourselves.
Yeah. So anyway, at the end of certain episodes, we will give the old Wheel of Trivia a spin. There is 6 categories on it. We hope to do 6 game shows this season with a host that will be you all get to meet soon. And basically the host, a buddy of ours, is going to generate the questions per whatever topic, and then me and MJ will compete against each other
to see who has more knowledge.
It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob out there. Get it together!
But stay tuned to the end of this episode. We're going to spin that bad boy and see what the first game show episode will be. So
perfect.
Yeah, Re-Animator. Good old classic. I guess you can call it camp.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you got the old Herbert West.
You got a little Herbie West there with the serum on him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the old wife had that custom made for me since Funko didn't want to make one.
Nice.
Yeah, I was pretty happy about it. So yeah, my favorite horror movie ever.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't say my favorite. We'll get into that list another time. But I mean, it's good. I guess you wouldn't call it camp. It's not campy.
But there is moments of camp.
Oh yeah, I mean there was moments of like over the edge, you know.
But no, this was intended to be a true, just dark, violent horror movie, and I think they delivered on all those. You just got the addition of the over-the-top 80s acting that gave you those moments of levity that really just make it a delight to watch.
Oh yeah, and I thought Scott Wolf's dad, or Jeffrey Combs, he played Herbert West like perfectly.
I mean,
creepiness, but yet his dry sense of humor too, like you pick
right.
up on.
Exactly. I can't imagine any other actor playing Dr. West.
Yeah, like that. He has that sideshow line or whatever. When
yeah.
I saw in a deal there, he said that when they were screening it at the premiere, that people were so amazed and grotesque or whatever by the head that they missed that line, the funny line.
You'll never get credit for my discovery. Who's going to believe a talking head? Get a job in a sideshow.
I wonder why an intelligent young man like yourself should make such a foolish, fatal mistake of coming here to challenge me.
Because he's like, it was supposed to be really funny, but no one laughed in the premiere because they were so,
because of the overwhelming shock of that scene with the head. Yeah, the giving head scene, you could call it.
Yeah, that we'll get into that. That's
a scene.
It is a scene.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Yeah. yeah. But yeah, Jeffrey Combs, he was in he's not been in a lot. He was in Frighteners, like Michael J. Fox.
Another role that was just perfect for him, especially if you knew his work with the Re-Animator series, watching Frighteners and how buttoned up he begins and how off the rails he goes in that film. I've experienced pain.
Oh yeah.
I loved him in that role too. But
he was also the host of a movie called Would You Rather.
Mm-hmm.
I think she had a lot of people. Brittany Snow was in that thing.
Yep,
I think.
Yep. Love a good Brittany Snow. But Reanimator itself stars an 80s scream queen icon, Miss Barbara Crampton.
Oh yeah, and she was a good scream queen, because that is like the giving head scene.
Yeah.
That's all her original screaming. That's her.
Exactly.
They didn't do any ADR or anything. It was that's literally her projecting like that. Yeah, she was good. Like everything was well crafted.
Well, let's give a little background. So, when was the first time you watched this movie?
First time I watched it was with you back when we were in the Corps.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 2006, 2005.
And when was the
and
next
I
time
hadn't watched it until just now the other night, which then my wife watched it with me, and she'd never seen it at all.
So tell me about her reaction to watching it.
She was, well, especially, she's like, how are they even allowed to shoot this?
Yeah, and it's
the 80s.
What are you talking about? With as much self-censorship that was present in the 80s, especially in film, it was crazy to me that this somehow slipped through those cracks and made it to my local movie store, where I rented it way before I ever should have.
Well, yeah, and obviously it was 85. This was before like this whole NC-17 or anything like that.
Right, exactly. But I remember renting this. I may have been a freshman in high school, so 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And it changed my life. It was life-changing.
And the whole movie's not, we're talking about one particular scene.
Agreed. Although it does have some pretty good horror pieces in the rest of the movie. The stunt double for the Terminator running butt naked around a hospital as a zombie, crushing people to death. You got a serial crusher, some huge freaking guy.
I feel something big here. I'd be surprised to see a lot of these turning up.
But remember, he knocks down that door and crushes the dude with by jumping on the door. You know, again, just buck ass nude.
Oh, speaking of, the building at the university is the same building that Cyberdyne is for Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
So there's some cool callbacks to Terminator.
Yep.
Or I guess not even callbacks, some
It'd be
foreshadowing, you could call it.
Well, yeah, when did Terminator 2 was in 91, 92?
91, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would have been beforehand, which is also the first time ever in movie history that the name Hans Gruber is used.
Dr. Gruber! Herr Doctor!
Exactly. He did not.
Die Hard stole it from the Reanimator.
It's a great villain name.
It is, but the doctor in the beginning of the movie, the doctor's name in the movie is actually Hans Gruber, which is the name of the villain from Die Hard. It's
pretty fantastic.
Oh my god, that's weird. But
so, what other tidbits do we know? Gallons of blood.
Yeah, the visual effects department talked about how they had used, it was up like 24 gallons of blood.
24 gallons of fake blood.
Yeah.
And
which they were like in most things they'd ever done, they used maybe at like 2 gallons, you know, but yeah, 24 gallons of blood was used in the shooting of this movie. And it actually only shot, what was it, like in 18 days?
18 days, like just over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or just shy of 3 weeks, I should say.
It was like 16 for initial, and then it was just basically 2 days of some reshoots or something.
Yep.
But
exactly. The dead cat that they used as a prop, a real dead cat.
For the fridge scene.
From the fridge, yeah. Would have still been semi-fresh.
The rest of the cat scenes were fucking atrocious. I didn't even look like a cat at one point. I'm like, what is that? It's this.
His puppet acting, though, was fantastic when it attacks him and he's running around like.
Well, yeah. Well, when he first comes down in the basement, too, it just looks like a piece of rug strapped to the back of Jake.
Like some fishing wire just.
Like they literally just glued it onto his shirt and they're like, run around, we'll just add this cat noises in post type of thing. Or you got a guy off scene, just, you know, just like talking into the boom mic.
But yeah, I mean, it for what it was, you know, it was shocking then. It's still shocking today, even with knowing that the technology does not translate.
Well, and see, me and you've talked about before, and me and my wife were talking about it too the other night. It's like stuff back then was so authentic,
right? Well, because they practical.
The way it you know, that's where that term movie magic comes from. Where nowadays you say the word movie magic, and you're like, it's fucking CGI everything. This person ain't looking at something; they're looking at a green ball on a stick, and then they just make something out of it in post. Where, like, even we were talking about, me and my wife were talking about, like, the movie The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kurt Russell and them are all reacting to this legged head trot across the floor.
Right, an actual prosthetic.
Puppet.
Yeah.
So they were actually interacting and looking at something physical. So when you're seeing the shot as an audience, their eyes are actually following something
real
at the same perspective level, you know, and everything. They're like, and their reaction is what makes that scene and them shots golden, you know.
Right.
And that's what this movie, like, when you know about what goes behind the making of this stuff, like when he's talking to her and he's like, and he's licking her tits.
The best part about this scene,
you obviously know that there's a guy, the stunt or whatever, and the other guy is his whole body's out of shot, and he's just got his hands around his head.
Right.
And then they walk up, and then it's him. Looks like him holding his head, but he's just back here somewhere.
Right.
So I mean, it's obviously how it's done, but it still looks
phenomenal.
Good, you know.
It looks so good that it caused him to get a divorce.
Oh yeah, I read that.
Because his wife was very conservative. And
how could you do that, David?
She spat on him, left the theater, and they were divorced months later.
Which is funny. It must not have done very much for his career either, because if you go to the IMDb page, him as that fucking talking head is his profile pic for IMDb.
I feel if I was that actor, I wouldn't have even used my own face. I would have used the fake head that the body was wearing in that scene.
Oh yeah.
I just thought that was classic that they had the forethought to put a fake head on the body.
Well, what's funny too is that I've seen people talk about like, well, if he could put the fake head on, why didn't he just put his real head on? And I'm like, well, that wouldn't have been as good. That wouldn't have been.
Yeah. What makes you want to do that?
Yeah. Why would a person be logical? He's a fucking undead fucking head.
So in a couple of subplots that got cut from the movie were that the doctor whose head is lopped off, it was supposedly had some kind of a like telekinesis and could control people.
Well, yeah, because that's not really explained how that happens in the
right. And then at the end, he's able to control the zombies through that power. But I think they cut that subplot for time.
Okay. Because some of that stuff just ain't flushed out enough.
Right, and not that this is a perfect movie by any means.
Yeah, so we really obviously we love this movie. It's just that everything's got nitpicks or whatever.
Yeah. So the scene when Barbara Crampton's character, her father has been turned, right, because he got crushed by the huge freaking guy.
Yeah.
So Dr. West hits him with the juice and brings him back, but he's a zombie. He's a raving lunatic.
Yeah.
So they've got him bound in a room with some, plexiglass and a padded room, and he's bouncing off the wall, and you can see the outer wall shaking when he bounces off of it. And then when the nurses go in there, they had to be careful not to knock the wall down when he's struggling with them. So, because they shot this thing in 18 days, so they're like, "Hey, we ain't got time to rebuild those sets."
you got to give them credit though. It's still better set design than current Bruce Willis movies.
Straight to DVD.
I don't even think they're on scene. I think Bruce Willis really makes them come to his house, shoot at his house, and then they leave.
You can build it in the basement.
No, this room's good here. We'll shoot in this room. I really don't want to do anything today, guys.
It's funny to me. Remember when Bruce Willis and like Nick Cage and John Travolta were like the pinnacle of Hollywood acting? And now they're
all through the 90s. I mean, even Nick Cage and John Travolta did the movie together that was spectacular. So.
Face Off. Yeah, I love that movie. But yeah, now they're all relegated to Chinese. I don't even know. Straight to DVD is not even right. It's more like straight to stream.
Well, it is, yeah, because you look at like Bruce Willis, it's almost like he's doing a movie every like. If you go on his IMDb page, it's like every 4 months he's like making a movie.
It's crazy.
It is like Frank. What is his name? How do you pronounce his Gargalio? The guy that played Crossbones and
Frank Grillo. Who's got like 5% body fat at 55.
Yeah, he had an interview where he was like, I still don't know what the movie was about, but he's like, he's like, I never thought I'd be doing it, but yeah, it was basically a cash grab. It was just, I was in a Bruce Willis movie. He goes, I don't know what it was about. I think it's horrible, blah, blah, this and that. I think it was on like Howard Stern or something. He gave an interview.
That's hilarious.
But it's like, it's just, it's like Steven Seagal movies. It's just like B budget after B budget after B budget.
Is it even B anymore? I think we're down to like D.
Yeah.
D's nuts budgets.
Close. About that level.
Yeah, it feels like it. It feels like it.
You know, this is what Bruce Willis is doing to Britain. Well, if you want your movie to make any money, you know, I'll be on the poster.
Yeah. This is the same guy that was cut from Expendables because he wanted too much money.
I'm almost out. I'll be back. You've been back enough. I'll be back. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah. And poor Chuck Norris didn't get enough time.
He was fantastic. He gives that stupid thumbs up. I'm like, come on.
He gives that one random Chuck Norris fact in the movie.
Yeah, there's a fist behind my beard.
No, the snake one.
I heard another rumor that you were bitten by a king cobra.
Yeah, I was. But after 5 days of agonizing pain, the cobra died.
But and I hate that was the one Expendables they went for the PG-13 rating, and it just didn't hit the same.
No. Well, yeah, the first one, you had like people blowing legs off and everything. That one, they shot that one guy, his freaking head exploded.
Well, yeah, and you had Dolph Lundgren just running wild. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
By the third one, though, you're like, all right, we've seen this. Let's move on. Let's move on. But it was nice to see Jean-Claude get his up and comments.
Oh yeah. So the one thing. Well, we're getting kind of off the Re-Animator thing, but
we're a movie review channel. We can do whatever we want.
can just talk about anything. Fuck it. I did like Mel Gibson as a bad guy.
Agreed. Yeah.
PG-13 he was in the PG-13 one, right?
He was. And think about if they took that rating off, how far that could have went. Because
well, yeah, because that's how me and you grew up with Mel Gibson as an R-rated guy.
Yeah. I just watched Lethal Weapon again. I still love that movie.
Oh God, all fucking four of them. I think all four of them are right.
I think we can stop at 3 for sure.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can watch the fourth one with appreciation, you know.
Yeah, it was the last of a dying breed. I get it, but
yeah,
that was a horse that should have been shot instead of rode. So anyway, we're talking about horror. We're talking about Reanimator. We're talking about getting head and getting some head.
If you guys ever watched this movie, I know we went off on a tangent there, but be prepared for that scene. It's once you see it, you're probably gonna be like, that ain't that bad, but it's still, if you actually think about someone had to shoot that scene.
Yeah, and this was 35 years ago, and this is like a wildly different time.
Oh yeah,
right?
OSHA. No. It's like that fire scene from the Thing from Another World, Planet or World, where they douse it with gasoline. That poor woman's just about lights on fire, and all that's protecting her is a mattress.
Exactly, which is not.
You're like, holy shit, that probably wouldn't fly today because she was. There would probably been a lawsuit involved.
Yeah. What rating on the Jarhead scale here would you give our movie Reanimator?
I'd give her a good old college 4.5 crayons out of 5.
4.5 crayons out of 5.
I ate the other half though, just because couldn't wait till lunch.
Well, I needed flavor on my popcorn, right? I melted it, drizzled it over the popcorn, made it pretty.
I use the yellow one because butter's yellow, isn't it?
It is. It is yellow.
No, but like I said, it's great. It's well shot, actually. I've been using the phrase "damn it, Rufus" a lot more than I probably ever should have in my life. Which we're probably I'm just gonna incorporate in the channel here every now and then. I'll just throw up a clip. Damn it, Rufus. But it was I liked we got kind of the rating pretty fast because there's one thing I was going to say. I really liked how in certain scenes there was no music.
Yes.
There's so many times now and there's no like real jump scares like fucking every modern day horror movie is prone for now. The premise of the story ain't good enough, so we just got to throw jump scares at you. Just,
right.
You know, and you can always tell when they're coming because the music gets real low and then, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But this actually built tension on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like leading up to a jump scare. It just built tension.
And I think this paved the way for body horror is what I'd consider it.
Yeah. But at the same time, like you watch like some of those old classics, and that's where like some of these modern movies' fault is you have to have like background music for everything.
Right.
You don't like there's certain scenes in certain movies where the fact that it's just ambient noise in the scene and there's no music, it lets you know the seriousness or the tension of the scene.
Yeah. Well, and think back to that scene in American Werewolf in London when they're walking through the moors and it's quiet. It's just them. They're talking. And then you hear the wolf and that's it. Like there's no background music. It's just
there's no suspenseful music. There's no music there telling you how to feel. You have to feel
for you feel how you feel. And to me, you know, as an adult, I still get that creepy feeling when I'm walking up the stairs late at night and it's dark in the house that what's behind me, you know, because it's so quiet.
But see now modern movies will just play music there because they have to take the music away from jump scares.
Right.
See, when visionaries were still making movies, they would specifically leave music out of scenes even if nothing like jumpy scary happened.
Right.
They would leave it out so you as the viewer had to determine how you were feeling in that situation. You know, it puts you into the role of basically the character because in real life you don't have music in the background. So that's the way I look at those like classic movies. Like even like Halloween, there was the original Halloween, there was parts where it's just you're just hearing the noise from the scene.
Right.
You know, and
maybe that's what the problem with the new Rob Zombie Halloween was, is too much music.
Well,
you know, maybe other things.
That's one thing wrong with it. Start making tally marks on the chalkboard.
But yeah, I have to agree with your sentiment. I give it 4.5 crayons. This is a nostalgia movie for me. So it loses 0.5 point because it is not a perfect movie.
No,
there are things that it could have expounded on, things that it could have, some you know, loops that it could have closed better or tied off better. But I think for the time and for what they were doing, 4.5 out of 5.
The concept and like I said, the movie magic was amazing. So and the props and how they shot things.
I don't know if you knew this, but the first half of the first movie follows along with that H.P. Lovecraft story fairly well. And then the second movie, the first half of the second movie follows along with the rest of the story. So you still finish that H.P. Lovecraft story of Dr. West, but it's broken up over the first 2 films.
I think I read that where the second half of the first one, they kind of delve off the rails from what the story
was. Yeah. So,
but you still get good cinema without it. Look at The Shining. Stephen King didn't put his stamp of approval on Kubrick's The Shining.
Agreed.
He didn't like it at all.
He hates it to date.
But yeah, so if you guys get a chance, check out the Re-Animator.
We're gonna do some bad ones though.
We're gonna do some this season. Yeah, we're gonna tear the shit out of some
bad movies
that should have been good and they fucking suck.
Tactical unpractical.
Yeah, tactical unpractical. And let's just say Blaine is rolling over in his grave.
Yep.
And Billy. Billy. I don't know if you remember Billy.
Yep.
So yeah, check it out. Now time for the wheel of trivia.
Let's spin the wheel.
I've been waiting for it.
Let's see if it actually spins.
Yeah, we'll try it here. We might need a couple test runs. So our categories are Ramrod, which is our host's choice, Spielberg, Sandler, 80s, DiCaprio, which is all Leonardo DiCaprio movies, and Name the Arquette. Yeah. So I'll give her the old college try here.
Don't hurt yourself.
No, I'll try not to. These are screws.
Spin her hard.
We're pointed at Sandler.
We're pointed at Sandler. We need a better wheel, buddy.
Yeah, we do. It was one cunt hair away from hitting Spielberg, but so Sandler.
Sandler it shall be.
So Sandler movies will be the
Our first
the first game show that we've done ever. So
be prepared for it to stink.
To sting or stink?
Yes.
All of the above.
Yes. It'd be good to get another Jarhead in here and see what he can come up with.
Yeah, he's working on his character development for his game show host.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah. But yeah, we're back. We're starting earlier this year than we did our first trial season.
Yep. We got a little ambition this time.
Yep. Last year we didn't start. We started shooting in November. I think the first one that came out was beginning of December.
Okay.
So we're
I think we only
3 months ahead of schedule than last year. So
we ended pretty abruptly.
Well, we did.
We should talk about why.
Yeah, we can.
It got warm outside.
Yeah, so
we have lives. We love you guys, but
yeah,
we love our lives.
We love doing this. We love me and him love bantering back and forth. We love just even the connection between us where we talk about this shit. But yeah, once it gets above like 50 degrees up here where I live, we're like outside doing stuff. I got a Ranger and we got woods and trails and lakes galore to swim in. And I got an 8-year-old that just wants to go. So, but
yeah,
we're in the
good summer
of building or going to be building a house. So that's what takes up a lot of spring and summertime too. So,
but the boys are back.
Yep. We're basically going to run it like an actual series, like so from September through March.
I'd say beginning of March. We might get 1 or 2 out, but
yeah,
we'll do a nice wrap up episode before
when we know when we get to that point. We won't leave you hanging like we did the last time. We'll do a send off for the season, so
that way if we don't come back next
give
season,
you kind of a farewell. We'll see you in the next.
We'll meet again. And don't know where. Don't know when.
Oh, shit! I poured it on right on my pant leg.
Is that the thing from last season that we're gonna do again this season? Oh shit! My socks are wet.
Casey just randomly spills shit on himself. Motherfucker!
We suck again.
Woo! We're back, bitches.
All right, I'm out of beer.
I got up the laundry bill apparently. All right. Till next time.
What the mutants in the basement?
Yeah. Woo!
See you.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
That's not it. I don't think that was there.
They
Yeah, we really get our shit together.
we're gonna turn the do not disturb off. Was that what we're talking about this time?
You don't say.
Oh yeah.
Where they,
Yeah, they did Numb or something with. That was after Matora, I think. Or
yeah, whatever. I don't remember the name of the album. I just remember they all basically sounded the same, and they were all fairly good.
Yeah.
They were like a better Nickelback.
They were a rock rap version of Nickelback.
Yeah. Never made it as a blind man. Didn't make it as a rock star either.
I'm crawling in my skin.
America, fuck yeah.
All right. We'll take a quick. I just gotta call my sister back. I don't know what the fuck she's wanting, but she'll be on the episode here. I'll just put her right up to the mic.
Be like, welcome to Jarhead Basement.
Hey, good timing. What?
For the mutants in the basement.
We're recording, but.
Oh, great.
What's up?
Would a 16 gigabyte be big enough or not?
Holy fuck! Yeah, I think a 16 gig would be big enough.
Okay.
Jesus.
They have an 8 or a 16 gigabyte.
You would be able to put the entire discography of Elton John on that thing. So.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's 8 even would be fine, but.
Okay, I'll get the 16.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye. So I got to put the songs for Kyra at my niece's wedding on a flash drive. So I told my sister, I'm like, well, don't get anything small. Like I said, don't get something stupid small. At least like 500 megabytes.
Yeah.
So now she just called. She goes, is a 16 gig big enough?
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, I think so. I think that'll be fine. It goes mega then gig. So yeah, you're...
I've got a 500 terabyte I can send you. You want every song ever made?
I know you want every song since the invention of the fucking recorded song.
Exactly.